Thank you for your time. My name is met-tle, and this is Food for Thought. There's something I'd like to read to you. You don't always need a plan. Sometimes all that is required is heavy metal. Be fearless. Mettle. A person's ability to cope well with difficulties or to face demanding situations in a spirited and resilient way. Be heavy metal. What man actually needs is not a tensionless state, but rather the striving and struggling for some goal worthy of him. What he needs is not the discharge of tension at any cost, but the call of a potential meaning waiting to be fulfilled by him. Viktor Frankl. I think that we are all just hoping to find that one person who will simply love us for the awesome fucking disaster that we truly are. Always remember, you're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Milne. Knowledge is power, but enthusiasm pulls the switch. Ivern. The happy warrior is he who, doomed to go in company with pain and fear and bloodshed, miserable trains, turns his necessity to glorious gain. In face of these doth exercise a power which is our human nature's highest dower, controls them and subdues, transmutes, bereaves of their bad influence, and their good receives by objects which might force the soul to abate her feeling, render her compassionate, is placable, because occasions rise so often that demand such sacrifice, more skill in self-knowledge, even more pure, as tempted more able to endure, as more exposed to suffering and distress, thence also more alive to tenderness. Wordsworth. Let him who would move the world first move himself. Socrates. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Charles Dickens. Fear is a thought. Fear is a habit. The constant assertion of belief is an indication of fear. Judua Krishnamurti. Detachment does not mean you should own nothing. It means that nothing should own you. Character is higher than intellect. A great soul will be strong to live as well as strong to think. Ralph Waldo Emerson. But I've strayed so far from normal now, I'll never find my way back. And the truth is, I no longer want to. Alison Noel. Hold on to every genuine person you find. So many people are driven by ego, money, and status. As a result, good souls are ruined daily. Stand tall, keep your head up, and be conscious of the energy you give out and connect with. Anyone can give up. It is the easiest thing in the world to do. But to hold it together when everyone would expect you to fall apart, now that is true strength. Chris Bradford. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. J.K. Rowling. You're weird, and I love it. The first rule of focus is this: wherever you are, be there. Positive actions create a chain reaction reaching far across the universe. One life touches another life, who touches another life. Be the good, leave a legacy. Karen Mann Young. We are no longer indigenous to our environments. We are overfeeding but malnourished, overprotected but weak, and somehow we are both highly sanitized and yet deeply infected. Frankl. A little training in philosophy can also help us build robust critical defenses and immunize us against the wiles of pretentious wafflers and snake oil salesmen. Barry Lower. to know that we are only angels weighed down by filth, free of guilt, that bacteria in our bellies are responsible for the farts which shame us, tiny monsters shitting in their billions all over our pure skin create the acid reek of our sweat, and slayed when the inner voices tell us we're unworthy or instruct us to love and hate despite our best instincts. Are these incessant distracting thoughts our own? Or do we only hear the voice of the eternal germ screaming in our heads? Grant Morrison. The magic of each day lives in the unknown. It's waking up as one person and accepting that when night falls, we may be someone else entirely. So when you ask what my story is, forgive me, I'm not quite sure yet. J. Raymond. The voices says, maybe you don't go to hell for the things you do. Maybe you go to hell for the things you don't do, the things you don't finish. Chuck Palahniuk. What I'm asking you to entertain is that there's nothing we need to believe on insufficient evidence in order to have a deeply ethical and spiritual lives. Sam Harris. We all have inner demons to fight. We call these demons fear, hatred, anger. If you don't conquer them, then a life of 100 years is a tragedy. If you do, a life of a single day can be a triumph. Yip man. Our culture has bred consumers and addicts. We eat too much, buy too much, and want too much. We set ourselves on fruitless missions of filling the gaping hole within us with material things. Blindly, we consume more and more, believing we are hungry for more food, status, or money. Yet really, we are hungry for connection. Veronica Tuga-Levy. Because you are alive, everything is possible. Thich Nhat Hanh. You've got to respect everyone's beliefs. No, you don't. That's what gets us in trouble. Look, you have to acknowledge everyone's beliefs, and then you have to reserve the right to go. That is fucking stupid. Are you kidding me? I acknowledge that you believe that. That's great, but I'm not going to respect it. Patton Oswalt. The spiritual realm, in practical terms, means the imagination. The frontier of our species is imagination. Terence McKenna. Music, at its best, is the grand archaeology into and transfiguration of our guttural cry. The great human effort to grasp in time our deepest passions and yearnings as prisoners of time. Profound music leads us, beyond language, to the dark roots of our scream and the celestial heights of our silence. Dr. Cornel West. Most humans are never fully present in the now because unconsciously they believe that the next moment must be more important than this one. But then you miss your whole life, which is never not now. Eckhart Tolle. My brain is only a receiver in this universe. There is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. Nikola Tesla. To be sure, man's search for meaning may arouse inner tension rather than inner equilibrium. However, precisely such tension is an indispensable prerequisite of mental health. There is nothing in the world, I venture to say, that would so effectively help one to survive even the worst conditions as the knowledge that there is meaning in one's life. There is much wisdom in these words of Nietzsche. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. Viktor E. Frankl. Meditation is evolution's strategy to bring out our full potential. Tara Brach. The country is in deep trouble. We've forgotten that a rich life consists fundamentally of serving others. Trying to learn the world a little bit better than you found it. We need the courage to question the powers that be, the courage to be impatient with evil and patient with people, the courage to fight for social justice. In many instances, We will be stepping out on nothing and just hoping to land on something. But that's the struggle. To live is to wrestle with despair. It never allows despair to have the last word. Dr. Cornel West, who sees all beings in his own self, and his own self in all beings, lose all fear. The Upanishads. Limits only exist in the mind. Thank you for your time.